So Michelle, uh, you know how it's been, I don't know, a bit lonely. This has been, I would call, a lonely year in many ways. Um,
Sure.
well, there's not a lot of, you know, you know, socializing and get-togethers and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
I like how
Yeah.
you want to play that game like you never did that stuff to begin with, but you did. You went to shows. I would visit you multiple times a year.
That's true. You got to understand though that like the difference is like multiple times a year, not like multiple times a week or multiple times a month. So,
That's true. But I think I finally solved the loneliness problem, at least on my end.
that's good.
Because right before we recorded, I was dealing with, well, first of all, I was dealing with trying to get lunch cooked, and I kept getting distracted by work, and then I'm trying to cook lunch, and I find out a friend of mine is recovering from COVID, and I'm like, I just want to make sure he's okay. And then I'm like, okay, I got to do all this stuff. And then I had to buy something on Amazon really quickly, like a house item,
Mm-hmm.
as I'm like walking from my living room to my office to record this. And I see a little thingy that says that there's a upgrade to my Amazon Alexa that is only $1.99 when it's usually $6, and I might want it. So I clicked on it out of morbid curiosity, and I am proud to tell you, Michelle, that now, not only can I say, because I'm in a room where it's safe, not only can I say Alexa and then do something, there's no one in the office.
Mm-hmm.
But now if I say, hey, Samuel L. Jackson will swear at me and tell me the
Aw.
weather and tell me if my packages are on the way.
Aw. That's nice.
So now I'm really not lonely. The best part is it asks you at the beginning, it says, warning, some of the things I say will be not be for minors. Do you wish to continue? And when I go, yes, it goes, yeah, because what the fuck, right? Like, that's the first thing it says. So I was pretty all right with that.
Good.
But yeah, that happened like moments before we went to record, and I was like, but I have so many questions for Samuel. Also, Chicano is licking my foot right now. Please stop,
Aw,
buddy.
that's so cute.
So yeah, if you want to know how little I leave the house and how much of a hermit I've become, I put on a sweater, like
Mm-hmm.
a kind of a coat. It's a hoodie. I put this on to look a little bit more put together, and the dogs went crazy thinking we were going somewhere,
Aw.
because that's how little I am putting myself together, apparently. Um, but speaking of outfits, look at you with your red shirt and your and your coveralls. Michelle looks like a 7-year-old boy who's going out into the woods to play.
I really do.
So for those who can't see us, she's wearing a red sweater, or a sweatshirt rather,
Mm-hmm.
and coveralls, like overalls, like
Yeah.
just right over
Yeah.
top. You look like the Chucky doll. So you blew my mind because you revealed to me that you actually wear coveralls most of the time,
Mm-hmm.
but you have a
Well,
shirt over top of them as well. I mean, in the winter, not in the
yeah.
summer.
Not when I go to work because it's too annoying. But yeah. Yeah.
You should get coverall shorts so that even in the summer you're still wearing coveralls. They're just
I
short.
I have tried. It's not that easy. Like,
What?
cause a lot of overalls like just don't fit very well.
Okay.
They're like super loose and stuff, which I understand, I guess. So I had to find, but like I can't find good shorts ones. So.
Oh gosh, the dogs are amped up today. So it's pouring snow here.
Hmm.
Uh, is it snowing there yet?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, for about, I don't know what time it is, about maybe like a half hour or something like
Oh,
that.
okay. It's been snowing since this morning, but it just started coming down again, like really hard. So, are you guys predict? Because you're getting, I believe you're predicted to get way more than we are,
I don't know how much are you predicted
like a
to
couple
get.
inches tops.
Oh, okay. We don't really know because the way that it's happening with the nor'easter, there's like the one pressure and then the other pressure and then going like this. But so we would get a lot of snow, but they're drawing air in from the ocean, and the ocean is unseasonably warm right now, and it's going to come right this way. So we're going to get a bunch of snow, and then it's going to get warmer, and then it's going to rain and sleet. And then maybe it's going to snow again. So they're saying like maybe 3 to 6 inches now, which is, or 6 to 12, depending on what news source.
Yeah.
So
my main point is that here we're predicted that we're going to get some snow. We're not predicted that we're going to get a snowstorm.
Yeah.
But it looks like you might get a snowstorm, like a full-blown storm. So, well, good. Enjoy that. You'll get to be in a winter wonderland.
Yeah. Upper Darby schools are closed tomorrow.
It's so weird that they were open to begin with, to me, but
their kids aren't in them, so they're just closed because they were like, let's give them a snow day.
Oh, that'd be nice. Yeah, you're like, sorry kids, the snow got into the Zoom. It don't work no more.
No, I mean seriously, that's what happened.
What?
They closed tomorrow, and because they were like, yeah, let's give them a snow day. Yeah.
Maybe there is a little bit of heart left in the school districts.
It's not everybody.
Really,
it's not everybody around here. Like Feliz open, stuff like that. So,
but Upper Darby just happens to be like the nice one.
Yeah, according to the article that I read, the I guess the superintendent or whoever's in charge of that was going to keep them open, and then like a little kindergartner was like, I want to play, and he was like, my heart, and then now they're closing them. So
okay, that sounds legit.
Yeah.
So, well, what are you gonna do with your snow day tomorrow?
It will probably not be snowy anymore tomorrow. So nothing.
Is it gonna be that warm that it's just gonna melt?
Well, the thing is, if it rains for like 5 hours, there's not going to be a lot of snow on the ground tomorrow morning.
Okay. I'm sorry that you won't. Well, what are you gonna do with are you gonna go play in the snow after we're done here?
No, there's not enough snow.
Well, playing in the snow doesn't mean playing with snow. You could just go do something in the snow.
Like what?
I don't know. I'm not you. You do things that you like. You could watch anime in the snow. Or read about anime in the snow. Or listen to songs from animes in the snow.
That sounds terrible.
I'm impressed I named 3 things you like to do. So speaking of that, you had been teasing on Facebook and in our conversations. Are you seriously thinking about starting a podcast of your own?
I don't know.
You were talking about it.
Yeah, I mean, really, I had just been like, oh, I want to like talk about the like what I think are the best openings and endings of the anime of the year. Because I don't know why.
Was that the first time you said that out loud?
Yeah, I think so, because I don't think I've told anybody else. So
you posted on Facebook you were thinking about doing it, but you didn't, not saying it out loud.
Yeah, exactly. But like, so I don't really know. I still don't know if I'm gonna do it. You know.
I mean, there's no reason not to.
There's a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Like what? What's a reason not to?
Because it's dumb. Because no one will enjoy it. Because it's my opinions don't matter. It'll take up time and it'll probably be bad. That's 5 reasons.
I like how "and it'll probably be bad" is after no one will enjoy it and my opinions don't matter. It's like, and it'll also be bad. So that means that the being bad is independent of those 2 things. So it's not going to be bad. So if it's not bad because your opinions suck and because no one cares, then what is the thing that would make it bad in and of itself?
Oh, I guess maybe it doesn't flow, like the quality is not good, like it doesn't make sense. Like, you know.
But you can edit. I mean, you're good with audio stuff. You've recorded whole albums.
So it doesn't mean that I can make a convincing sounding podcast. So
sounding? So people can listen and be like, this isn't a podcast. This is a ham sandwich. And you'll be like, ha, with a fake mustache, like running away. What do you mean convincing podcast?
I don't know. Honestly, I
yeah.
just don't think that my opinions are interesting or good. So
Well, the funny thing is this show is the polar opposite point to that. I think that your opinions are incredibly interesting. So for over a year, I've been talking to you on this podcast.
I don't know why though. So
Well, I'm going to say it here where people can hear it. I 100% support. You look terrified. I 100% support you doing your own little weeb podcast. I think it would be fun. I would listen to it out of friendship and possibly out of my gradual weebness as you keep showing me Trigun episodes like every week. God, that when that's done, how many animes have I watched all the way then? That's got to be like 6 or 7. Because well, in their entirety as much as we can. Like ReZero, I've watched every episode.
yeah. So
ReZero, Erased.
Mm-hmm.
The one with the thing.
Death Note.
Death Note. and then I watched Gurren Lagann.
Right.
And I think I watched one between Gurren Lagann and Death Note.
I don't think there's another one.
Oh, okay. Then Gurren Lagann.
No, I mean there might. Oh, right, Mob Psycho 100.
Mob Psycho 100, which is my favorite one, so of course I didn't think of it. And then this Trigun's the
Trigun.
6th one.
Yeah.
So I was really close actually to that on. So and it gets confusing because like I watched all of ReZero and then ReZero came back, so we've been watching it as it goes.
It's back on the 6th
Of January?
of January.
Lazy Japanese need to get their shit together.
They had to make it a split core because sorry. They had to make it a split core because of COVID and they couldn't do what they were gonna
do. Because the animators can't sit in rooms by themselves.
It's not that. It's the voice actor problem because
they can't sit in a room by themselves remotely.
They don't do that.
We know that.
They don't do that. They do it all together.
No way.
Yeah, they do.
I don't
in Japan.
believe that.
They do.
That doesn't make any sense.
I've seen them in videos.
That was CGI. There's no way they were all together. Okay. That's the craziest thing I've ever heard, that people actually have to be in a room to dub a show.
Yeah.
Crazy. Well, I mean, we're not in the same room, and but some people have thought we were.
Yeah, but they do a better job than me talking, and they get paid.
I like how you made sure to throw only yourself under the bus. That was good friendship right there. But what I was saying, so I mean, I've watched a few animes, a decent amount of animes, and I would listen out of friendship, but I would also be willing to host the show on my podcast service, since I already have a membership for this show and for Weekly Spooky. So if you want to do it, I will, support you as much as I can.
Thanks.
Just saying.
Yeah.
And I will ask people to listen. Sorry.
It's okay.
You might be surprised how many weebs are just dying to listen to some other weeb talk about weeb things.
I mean, I like listening to weebs talk about weeb things, but that doesn't mean that I'm the right weeb to talk about weeb things.
Weeb. Michelle. Well, go ahead, sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
I was going to say, do you listen to any anime podcasts? Because I know there got to be a ton.
The pre-pandemic, there were a couple of like YouTube folks that I watched. A couple of them kind of disappeared during the beginning of the pandemic, and I got too sad to watch YouTube videos. So I kind of fell off.
That's where we're so different. The sadder I am, the more YouTube videos I'm watching.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. I missed them. I missed them all, but I just couldn't.
So I guess we should. Right now, this is the last episode we have before Christmas.
Yeah.
So I guess we should talk about how we unintentionally, accidentally watched that Hanukkah movie together, sort of, which wasn't planned. So Michelle's watching. What was it called? Lights Love Hanukkah.
I believe that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. Lights Love Hanukkah, which was a Hallmark original movie that is a Hanukkah, romance, kind of like the Christmas romances, which they play ad nauseum. And I had just finished doing something, I forget what, and I asked you what you were doing, and you said you were watching that, and I was like, wait, what channel? And I put it on, and then inadvertently, unintentionally, we just started talking about it. Although most of it was just being terrified by the sheer lack of blonde hair. I mean, there were a couple of extras in the background that had blonde hair, and that's it. Like, so I want to pick your brain because you said that that there was something about that movie that was really making you feel odd. I want to mention I didn't recognize the woman it starred, but I recognized the male lead was Corey from Boy Meets World, which I think his name is. He's a Savage. He's one of the Savage brothers. Is he? I don't think he's Ben Savage.
I don't know.
I'm sorry. I was trying. I can look it up while we're talking, but yeah, one of them Savage brothers. But no. But so he's in it, and the first thing I know, so I didn't even catch the first 25 minutes or so of the movie. I missed it. And that's one thing I like. I missed the one thing I missed about television was missing parts. Isn't that weird? Like. I love on demand because it's so convenient, but sometimes if I'm watching something passively, I don't want it to be at the beginning. I want to just kind of pop in whenever it does, and that's showing my age, because everything that's old is new again. So like cable is now new when it was, it was old when I was growing up. It was just the normal thing. So, but I want your opinions. The first thing I noticed, I'll start it is, it's Love Lights Hanukkah. Was the name, not Lights Love Hanukkah.
Oh, okay. When you just reversed it.
Yeah, and it's Ben Savage.
Okay.
So Ben Savage stars in it. The first thing I noticed, and pardon me if I just don't know Ben Savage that well, but I think he was doing a Jewy voice on purpose.
I can see why you'd think that. I don't know, honestly. Because there's definitely he's got definitely kind of a weird style of maybe acting or him.
Well, it was also a little effeminate. Did you notice that too? It was like a little bit effeminate. Not a lot. And I'm basing this on having watched like 12 years of him acting as a child, for the record. That's why I was like, is he putting on a voice? I've heard him talk a lot, and he never sounds like that.
He might have been. I'm not sure.
Well, I'm sure if he was, because Ben Savage, I mean, his family are I was going to say notoriously Jewish. They're notoriously Jewish. No, but they're Jewish. I'm sure if he's doing a voice, he's doing like a family member or something. He's just, but it did make things feel a little bit more awkward. If I didn't know him, it wouldn't have been weird. But because I've seen him in so many shows, I'm like, hey, it's Ben Savage. And he's doing kind of a Jewish voice. Okay. I mean, that's fine. It's a movie about Hanukkah, So... But I want your input because you were saying that you were having trouble even forming the words of because overall I thought the movie was fine. It was a perfectly charming little cute, romance thing that happened to have Hanukkah. And it was very big on like Hanukkah and Christmas coexisting, which I thought was the most realistic part of the movie, because there was a lot that was kind of unrealistic, like the sheer amount of Jewish people in that Cleveland town.
No, they were all part of the family. You just missed the beginning.
It was just a really big family.
It was just like 3 kids and stuff, and then like her friend. There was like no characters in that movie. Well,
and definitely no blonde characters. So I want to hear what your thoughts were on it. I really do.
I still don't really know like what I want to say about it, except that it made me feel very other. In a way that like. I don't get to feel very often because, even though we are in the media a lot as Jews, like there's not a lot of like Jews movies. So
Jewish representation in the media is a lot higher than they are based on their percentage of the population. Like growing up, I knew what Passover was and I knew what Hanukkah was because of television, even though like I didn't meet a Jewish person until I was like 16 years old.
Right.
There just aren't a lot of Jewish people in this part of Ohio.
Sure.
Oddly enough, though, there is that group of conservative Jews that live like in Oakwood, Ohio, down the road. Like, and they all walk together from temple and stuff. Which it's just weird because it's like, there's not a lot of Judaism out here, and then it's like, except for those 25 guys all dressed exactly the same that look like a parody of Jews to somebody who's never met any. But anyway, please. So you felt very outside, very other, right?
Yeah. And no, I mean, and I understand what you mean, but still,
Sure.
there's just not a lot of like discussion about it, you know, and you don't have characters normally in like generic kind of TV shows where it's just like, oh, I'm just Jewish and I'm just doing Jewish things. I don't know. I just don't see it a lot, and to have it like all centralized was weird.
Uh-huh.
What really like bothered me is like the family, and you didn't see them as much because you missed the first hour,
Hmm.
but like the family of, you know, her actual real family, not, you know, when she found out that she's adopted. I mean,
Right.
she knew she was adopted, but when she found out that they were her family, um like those particular like her half brothers and sisters and stuff, they had these very really particular hairstyles that made me like super angry.
Yeah, no.
um
I was noticing that too, because I was about to say, and her adopted family's Italian, which means that they kind of look like Jewish people.
mhm, mhm.
They kind of, because the Mediterranean look and the kind of the Jewish appearance that they were showing, which was kind of that Euro Jewish thing.
Mhm.
They don't look that different.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no, now that we're talking about it, it was kind of almost like, pardon this, a Jew zoo.
Mm.
Like, it was kind of like we were just like looking in and we were supposed to go like,
Yeah. Yeah.
they do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
My mom also thought it was like too teachy. Like there were too many elements where it was like, I'm gonna explain this tradition to the audience so that
Oh
they
yeah.
understand. And that's a
Yeah.
little annoying because we, you know, you don't see that in a Christmas movie. They don't go like, well, this is what we're doing. We're gonna get the tree and we're gonna put the lights on the tree because this is the reason that we do that.
Well, wasn't she, now, because I did miss the beginning, she wasn't raised very Jewish, right?
Yeah, you're right. So it made sense. They
She
could
needed
do
to be
that, but it was a
explained here and there.
little bit much.
Oh no, it was like every single, it was like, and now we're going to save money because you see our, no, I'm just kidding. But there were a lot of moments like that throughout, where they're like explaining exactly about the menorah, and then explaining making potato pancakes, which were those too thick? I thought they were too thick. They looked way too thick.
I mean, they looked like if you make them and you like when you take the potatoes and you, instead of like grating them, you like make them little tiny pieces.
Shred them
No.
or process them like food
Yeah,
processor?
yeah, it looked like they did that.
Yeah.
And yeah, they were really thick, which is fine, but they just looked like they like almost like pancakes,
Yeah.
you know?
So the
But-
first time, oh sorry, you were gonna say something. Please say
Oh,
it.
I was gonna say, but I do know people who make them like that, so.
Bad people. Well, the first time I made latkes, which was just maybe 4 or 5 years ago,
Mhm.
the first time I didn't know any better, so I used the finest grate side of my grater, and they literally were potato pancakes. I mean, they were literally had the consistency of pancakes, looked like pancakes, and tasted very good. I mean, they tasted like potato pancakes, but it was so weird. I remember the first time I was like, I think I should have used a bigger, because they're supposed to be like half pancake, half hash brown, kinda. I mean, that's the best way I can describe them.
Yeah, I mean, I would just describe them as almost basically hash browns. They're just a little different.
I was
than hash
trying to
browns.
respect your people's culture and not say they're just hash browns. Let's just be honest, they're just hash browns.
Well, I mean, they do have other things in hash browns. Like I think they're just shredded potato thing.
Hash browns are
right?
generally just potatoes, yeah.
Yeah, and so like there's like egg and there's like matzah and stuff like that. So it's not.
There might be egg in hash browns that like you're supposed to be able to like pick up.
Mm-hmm.
I think they might have a little bit of egg in them sometimes.
But
There's definitely not matzah in them.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess you can taste the matzah in a potato pancake. But
You
I remember
can't
like
really
when I heard that recipe, I was like, that's just so you can own it. You're like, and then we put matzah in it.
It's ours.
Oh my god, no! But I'm actually making latkes for Christmas this year.
Oh, that's nice.
So-
I'm making them tonight. So
Oh, for yourself?
yeah, because it's Hanukkah. So.
Oh yeah, it is still Hanukkah, isn't it?
Yeah.
You're gonna have like a big stack of latkes. You're just gonna put on your Hallmark channel or Lifetime and just be like, yeah, dreidel.
Pretty much. So.
I wouldn't mind making some latkes, but I don't have time today. Is Hanukkah? Is this the last day?
No.
as you check.
But soon. I can't remember what today is. Soon. I think like tomorrow or the next day. I can't even remember what day it is.
It's okay. It's okay. Maybe I'll make latkes tomorrow. It's not like it's hard to do. They're so good. They were a hit at my family's Thanksgiving one year. Nobody had ever had them. And I made latkes and everybody went crazy. And do you have your applesauce?
No, I don't like applesauce on my
You
potato
have to.
pancakes.
What do you put on them? Nothing?
Nothing.
Well, you gotta put applesauce on latkes.
No, I don't want them to be kind of sweet. No.
It's important.
No.
Fine. Break your mother's heart. But so no, I mean overall, I think you're right. There was a lot of, it did feel kind of exploity because it was just like every other thing was like, and they're Jews, you know, and like, let's look at the Jews. What are they? Because that was the thing I kept saying was like every time it came back, it was just super like, it was so forcedly Jewish. Like they were always doing something like Jewishy. Because I remember the exact words I think I kept sending for like when the commercial was just like, look at all those Jews. Like, it's just, and for the record, so I had a similar experience when I watched Feliz Navidad on Lifetime, which was a Mario Lopez. I highly recommend watching it. It was very good. But it was a Lifetime original Christmas movie, one that starred a man, which is not super common, as single dad, and it was a very sweet story. If I start talking about it, I might actually get teary-eyed, so I'm not going to like go into all the stories. But he's in like a little town in California, and he has his daughter, and he's the principal of a high school, and I loved it. But the thing that bothered me was like his little town was so Latino. Like, I love stories about Latino and Hispanic people for many, many reasons. But like I was sitting there, I was like, oh my God, if this town was in Mexico, there wouldn't be this many Latinos. Like it was just, it wouldn't, I mean, it was like their school is almost all Latinos, fine. Then it's like, they go to the corner store, the guy who owns it's a Latino, fine. Then they go to the coffee store down the side, the owner's Latino. Then they go to like the hat shop down the way, owner's Latino. I'm like, is that just the law? Like it's just it's just not normal that it would be that lacking in diversity.
Where was it supposed to be set though?
Just small town in California.
Oh, maybe.
So I would accept 60 to 70%.
Okay.
But we're talking like the only white people. There was a black girl in the competing high school because they were competing on a singing contest. There was a black girl in that group. And then his love interest was this quirky blonde white woman and her white dad, who she was in town helping him run his mail order business. And she meets Mario Lopez because he picks up part-time shifts as like basically like a UPS driver, but they call it something else. And that's how they meet because she keeps coming there to pick up their packages, and they have a really cute like, whatever. And that was the part. So that was the part that made it a little less awkward to me. Was that at least he fell in love with someone that wasn't just like him, because that's the thing that always makes me feel weird, is when there's like because that was the thing, like when we were watching the Hanukkah movie, it was like and they're alike and they should love each other, like go please.
But I mean, she is like half Italian, and like and then I don't know.
No, I mean, but they bond over her learning about her culture, and I like that though. I'm not saying that that it ended with me going like, wow, fuck that. No, it's just, but there's this little awkward from a distant perspective. You just look, it's like, oh good, the two people who are alike are together now.
Yeah, I think it's hard both ways though, because also if it's someone who's black and then they're they find a white guy that they like, and it's are they forcing this too? It's just all the time.
See, maybe it's because of the way I grew up. Maybe it's because of the way I grew up that I find interracial couples to be more natural, more naturally occurring. To me, it's like, why would the Jewish guy marry a Jewish woman? Why would the black lady marry a black man? I mean, statistically, there's a chance, but why would that just be the way it is? That's just like from a distance thing. So I'm not saying that like it, because I actually really liked the way they fell in love and how they dealt with in the Hanukkah movie, how they dealt with like, you know, the obstacles that they were facing because they were falling for each other. I actually liked all of that a lot.
I didn't that much.
Oh.
I didn't think that they had a lot of chemistry, and I didn't like her. The way that she dealt with him made me uncomfortable. Like, she would just like say things and I'd be like, okay, cool, but like there's no reason to like be pissed off at him about things. Like, he was like, hey, this recipe, and she's like, okay, like stop fucking telling me what to do. And it's like, did he ever tell her what to do before? Is this a recurring thing? Because if it's not, this is not good. It's not a good sign.
I got the vibe that every now and then she couldn't handle how much he reminded her of what she's lost. That was the vibe I got. Was that he kind of reminded her, by reminding her of Judaism stuff and all these things, it reminded her of her dead mother, you know.
But her mom's not Jewish.
Do what?
Her mom wasn't Jewish.
Wait, her father was Jewish?
No, her real mom is Jewish.
Yeah, that's what I mean. She lost her real mom.
No. Wait, how do you mean real?
Her biological mother died.
Her biological mother did not die. It was that lady.
Wait, I'm so confused.
Her biological mother gave her up for adoption.
Okay.
So, but her regular mom that raised her was just an Italian lady.
Just an Italian lady. No, I knew that. I knew that her mother was Italian. You know, the mother who raised her. But I knew that she'd referenced like remembering her mother vaguely.
That
her biological mother.
No, she was referencing remembering her mother that raised her.
Oh.
Yeah.
See, I got confused by that.
Yeah, so because she didn't even know she was Jewish until she did one of those like 23andMe things.
That's how it all started. Oh, see, I did miss that part. I'm a bad person.
So like I understand what you were meaning about that, but that's not real. So it makes me makes me feel like
none of it's real because it's a movie. So what should he have just left and found a shiksa instead? Found someone else?
Maybe he should just go and do what he was going to do, where he like just goes around and tastes food forever. Because that's okay. It's okay. It's okay not to it's okay not to settle down. You don't have to meet someone and then be like, oh, my life, my brain has changed. And now all I want to do. No.
It's Christmas. No. Everyone has to partner off, Michelle.
No, cuffing season. I don't understand. Like, I just meet this woman who's like Jewish or something, kind of, and like now I'm just gonna be a whole different person where I just live at home with people. Like, just fucking go and live your fucking life. And you've known her for like 2 weeks, and she's not even that nice to you.
Well, for the record, spoiler alert on Love Lights Hanukkah, he does still go on his trip.
Yeah.
So
but he intends to come home.
Yes,
and
he does intend to come
fucking get in a relationship with her and change his whole fucking life for this girl who's kind of mean to him sometimes.
So she's definitely figuring some stuff out. I got tearful when she talked to her father for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, that was cute.
Yeah. No, Feliz Navidad was a way better movie.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, the cutest part was I was like, what a cheesy title. And then they have a scene where his daughter is like, when I was a little girl, I would always sing Feliz Navidad when we would sing it in school because you were my hero. Because he's the good kind of single. He's a widower. So, but so spoiler alert for Feliz Navidad. That had a really good ending too because his whole thing is that he believes if he allows himself to love someone that he'll let his daughter down, and he's the only person she can rely on. Mm-hmm. Therefore, he would never let her down. And there's a moment where he goes on a date with the woman and loses track of time and almost ruins a bell ringing, you know, like the Christmas bells playing. He almost ruins the event because he doesn't show up in time. And that's when he's like, I knew I should have never, like, you know, this was all a mistake. I should have never done this, you know, for myself. I'm just being selfish. The big problem in Feliz Navidad is that Dad, sorry. Is that he is in love with her and she's in love with him, but she doesn't live there. She lives in Arizona. but she's there helping her dad. And she can't just leave Arizona because she is a French horn player, like professional French horn player in the Philharmonic. Because there's a great part where they're like talking about her life, and she's like, I don't get to cook a lot because I work nights, because they would work nights. So she can't leave her job, but he is the principal of this school, and he's very beloved, and he works really hard to keep, to help those kids, and stuff. So he can't move either. And when they decide they're going to be together, and they have that moment where they kiss and the music swells and all that stuff, there's a voiceover, because at the beginning it started with him, giving a voiceover. So at the end he gives a voiceover, and he basically says like, but we love each other. And he's like, and we're about to get a lot more familiar with driving back and forth from California to Arizona, because neither of them is going to give up their dreams, but they're going to have each other anyway. I thought that was really sweet.
I like that. that. I hope they don't compromise in like a year and then one of them loses their passion so that
Michelle,
they can give it the other
if
one.
you want to write Feliz Navidad too, I guess you could, submit your script.
I just want it to stay like it ended and not.
It probably will stay.
Okay.
If I was writing it, I would say that what would probably happen is they would do their thing, driving back and forth, and she would just gently look for symphonies in California, because that would be the most easy to transfer, because her passion is the horn, not where she's playing it. As to where his passion is the kids in that little town, and he's a fixture there. So I cried at that movie, so whatever. No, but I definitely liked it more, and I like that ending. I've noticed that there's been a lot more this year on Hallmark and Lifetime. There's been a lot more uncharacteristic looking couples. Like they're not quite all that like square jawed guy and the blonde tiny woman, and they're always going like the same way. And
I think it's been a while since they've like started doing that.
Well, this is my first year with cable in like friggin' 4 years, so give me a little slack. Gosh, you're so mean. Why are you so mean? It's the holidays.
That's why I'm mean.
Because you hate the holidays?
Because I hate the holidays.
Oh, no, you don't. What were you doing before you came on the show today? Huh? What were you doing?
Waiting to come on the show.
What were you doing before that?
I ate food.
Before that?
I saw gigs. I made cookies, okay?
What kind of cookies?
I don't know.
Holiday cookies?
Maybe, but maybe not.
Holiday cookies?
I don't know.
All I'm saying, I'm excited because I know I'm going to get a package from you someday. Depending on how if you go UPS, I'll probably get them in time.
Yeah.
I sent you your Christmas gift a week ago as we're recording this, and it's still just sitting in Philadelphia. Priority mail, folks. The post office is having a real bad time. I think there was only 1 year you didn't send me cookies. I think it was the year you moved. It was one of the times you moved because you just didn't have time to do anything.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, you have quite a bit of cheer. I always look forward to a package from you that has like a card that you drew, and like,
oh shit, I have to draw a card.
You have to draw a card. It's the law. But no, you like the holidays. You do. Wish I had 2 holidays. I wish I had Hanukkah and also Christmas.
You can have Hanukkah and also Christmas if you want.
I have to like study the Talmud and read it out loud to a bunch of people. You guys are not what I would call welcoming.
Sorry.
But no. Yeah. So I guess you're not going to add Love Lights Hanukkah to your yearly viewing?
No, it's okay.
Do you have a movie about Hanukkah you like?
No.
I
think,
Oh, sorry. No, please.
Oh, I think there are a couple of the Hallmark movies where like it's like one person's Jewish and then the other person's not, and some of them are done okay. Like they're kind of funny, but I don't like have one that I'm like, oh, I love that one.
Well, next year I'll send you a copy of a new horror movie called Hanukkah. It's about a killer on Hanukkah. I would have sent it to you for Christmas this year, but I can't wait for you to get your Christmas present, but I have to wait. Possibly a very long time.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to like it. Well, is there anything that are there any Hallmark Christmas movies you're looking forward to? Because we got another weekend full of them.
I don't think so.
You just put it on at 8 o'clock and see what's happening?
Yeah, 8 o'clock, sure.
Well, I mean, that's when the new ones premiere.
Yeah.
Is at 8 o'clock on the weekend.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that there's any coming up that I'm like really looking forward to. Wait, there is one where it's like they're like they get stuck and they can't go in the plane, so they have to take a cross-country trip, and it's called like Cross-Country Christmas. And I was like, yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
that
to
sounds
go
great.
places. Yeah. So I'm looking forward to that one. Because I like the one where like the same thing happens, except they're in New York. So
Have you seen Holiday Road Trip? That's one of my favorites with Patrick
no.
Muldoon. That one's good. They end up renting an RV because they can't. That's the only way they can do a Christmas thing. That's how detailed my memory is of that.
Yeah.